Good morning everyone, or good afternoon, good evening, whichever part of the world you're in. Welcome to my channel. I am Nelson. You're watching Nature Nell. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss all the great stuff I have lined up for you guys, like today's episode, a little tour inside my green space where I have all my orchids, alocasias, hoyas. I want to show you guys and share some of the most beautiful flowers that are blooming this summer. So without further ado, let's go look at some flowers. All right, guys, let's start with this beautiful new bloom, just opened. This is my Bulbophyllum grandifolia, and it's really a beautiful Bulbophyllum. It's constantly giving me blooms. I just can't wait till it gets to that size that's big enough for it to do multiple blooms. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that with my hand. I wanted to say multiple blooms. So yeah, it usually gives me 1 to 2. All these are previous blooms. It's a very generous Bulbophyllum, and I keep it here on my wall, and it seems to love the space. Now, my next one is my Epidendrum Mabley Emmy, and she is the most fragrant, delicious, citrusy. It's like a lemon, sugary lemon drop. I love the fragrance on this. This was a bag baby, and I have featured her before, and this is like the second time that it blooms for me. I want to show you how big this orchid has gotten. It's really, really pretty, and it has very strong pink against this beautiful yellow green. I really love and enjoy when I see this in bud. I get excited because I know I'm going to get something very spectacular. And you know, there was a lot of them being sold at Orchids in Bloom. Pam was selling, she had a bunch of these. It was so beautiful. If you want to go see them, I have it in my last Ophies video at the fair, the June fair, and you can see how many she had. It was just so fragrant in that area. So let's move on to the next, which was a gift, and it's doing spectacular. Look at all those blooms. This was a gift from one of my subscribers, Frank. Thank you, Frank, again. I am loving this orchid. It is just such a cool looking flower. I mean, it's like a little dragon flying, or a bird with the long tail and the wings. And you know what? Let me see if it has it. No, it has no fragrance early in the morning. It's like 8 o'clock right now. It has no fragrance, but it did have fragrance the other night. It smelled like a soft jasmine. And this is Epidendrum ciliare. I'm learning these names, and they're sticking. Finally, they're starting to stick. It's about time. So there it is. She is doing beautiful, and I did feature her in my Ophies video also when Frank gifted her to me. And I was very surprised. I wasn't expecting something this size, and he said, he was very humble about it. Oh, I have some cuttings for you. When I saw this, I'm like, this is not a cutting. So I really appreciate that. That was a great surprise. Now here we have my RLC Greenwich Elmhurt. I think that's how you said Elmhurt. No? Elmhurt. E-L-M-H-U-R-T. I think that's how you say it. Yeah. Elmhurt. And this one too has a beautiful fragrance. Let me see if it has fragrance now. Yep, it's starting to release its fragrance. I love the smell of this one. It's very floral. It has a light hint of citrus, but it's very, very floral. And it's such a gorgeous flower. It only gives me one flower. It blooms yearly, but it only gives me this one big, massive flower. Look how big that is. It's pretty big. And I love it. She's like a centerpiece, and I'll show you now how big she's gotten. And this was too a bag baby. Now let's go to one of my favorite phals, my violacea, Phalaenopsis violacea. And this flower, oh my God, is it fragrant? Literally, I can smell it from here. I don't even have to get close to it. It's a very strong, like the color, like a smell of violets. It really is nice. And I'm having focal problems as always. There we go. I'm just trying to get up close to it so you guys can see all the detail. But my phone camera lately has been pretty nasty with the focusing. I don't know why. I don't know what's happening. Gotta live with it, I guess, for a while until I get a new phone. Here is the newest and latest. Oh, here we go again with the focus. It's when they're small like this, I have to put my hand behind it. That way it focuses, see? All right, when they're tiny like this, just bear with me. I promise I'll get it in focus. This is a Phalaenopsis deliciosa, and it's one of the mini flowers from the species kingdom of the Phalaenopsis. And I got this at Brethren's, and it just caught my eye because it was the only one of this size. Everything else was more like this. And I felt like, you know, I don't have this in my collection. I need to get something tiny like this. So I ended up taking it. It only cost me $25. I thought it was a great price for it. And here's my other Phalaenopsis. This is not a species. This is a cross with a Bellina. And it has a long name. I'm not even going to take the tag out. I'll put the name underneath because it's just such a big cross. It's like a George with a Bellina and I don't know, a lot of things. This is very diverse, but I love the color and it is very fragrant. I'm not crazy about the fragrance. It's too pungent for me. It's a little too much, and it almost has a, you know, it starts off well, but then it has a hint of almost like mildewy, you know, like when your clothes is wet and it stays there for a while, and then it has that weird fragrance. That's what this smells like. So no, I am not a fan of the fragrance, but I love it so much. It's one of my favorite little phals. I was very happy to get this, and I got this at Springwater from Tam. My Bellina on a budget. And yes, Mimi Palmer is still going. It's still going. It's down to like three flowers. It's dropped like 2 or 3, but look at this. It's still going and it still has fragrance. I got this at Bang Young's a couple of years ago, like 3 years ago. It was really tiny when I got her, and she's grown quite a bit and always is eager to bloom for me. But I'm a big fan of Mimi Palmer's. Actually, I'm thinking about getting another one because they're just so good to have around. They fill up your room with fragrance and it's just awesome. Oh, it's starting to rain. This is gonna become a walk in the rain video soon. I'm getting wet. This right here, I had it in bud, and I had told you guys in a previous video, I can't wait for this to open. I know some of you thought that I had thrips because the buds, look at the color of the buds. There we go. But that is the color of the buds. They are yellowish red as if they're drying out, but no, that's the flower. Oh, come on, focus. It's really acting up today. It heard me. And look how beautiful those colors are. And I also got this at Banyang's. This is an Ascasenda Banyang Fantasy. And it's gorgeous. I love the tones on this. It's just so rich. And I can't remember if this is fragrant. No, it's not fragrant, but who cares? It's so beautiful. I don't mind at all that it's not fragrant. So I would love to stay here more, but we must move. Now here we have, and you know what guys? I took the tag out on this and I totally lost it, but I do have it in record. My, trying to remember to see if I can bring it off the top of my head. I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna try. I'm just gonna put the name underneath, and then once I edit, but it's a catasetum or a clausetum, I think they call them. And this is the second shoot it gives me. It's a smaller one. It smells like mint toothpaste in a good way. It smells very fresh. That was the old shoot, but unfortunately they're not long lasters. In about a week and a half or two they start dying off. So you know, it's very beautiful, but you do lose the flower quite quickly. And it just has such a beautiful pattern and tone, and then you have this cream color underneath against this cranberry tone. It's breathtaking. And yes, these are self-pollinating flowers. This little shoot right here will pop off once it's pollinated. I won't touch it because it does pop and then the flower dies off quickly. So just take my word for it. And this is to you, Blanca, if you're watching this. My Sherry baby is starting to shoot. I know this is one of your favorites. Finally, I was like, when is she gonna bloom? And now she's finally shooting some spikes. But let's see. Oh, my Encyclia Jairak arrow. Look how beautiful this flower is. Isn't that like nature? Never ever is dull. You know, it always surprises me with some incredible patterns and colors. I mean, just looking at it up close like this, it's amazing. We never get the chance to look at a flower up so close. Whew, this rain actually feels good. It was so humid and hot. I'm quite enjoying it. My phals, you know, this is a new one that just shot. I'm very happy about this because my phals were not doing well for a while. They got really bad and I had to put them in my incubation area and bring them back to life. You see this? This is too much water, guys. This is from the rains. So I may have to move them inside because I do see that when they start getting way too much water on the leaf, they can get damaged. And that's what happened to me last time. And I've worked too hard to bring them this far to lose them back to so much rain. Last year was the rain, and the area that I put them in, they got too much sun. And they ended up kind of getting almost tossed out. Ooh, the rain's getting stronger. You guys hear it? I'm gonna get drenched. All right, here is my green flash that I've told you guys that it's about to start blooming on this side. It gives me a beautiful crown of flowers. Look at this. My Dendrobium green flash. I love this orchid. Oh boy, it's too hard. Look. All right, let's go back into the roof area, and I will go back when it slows down. For now, enjoy the sounds of strong Florida rain. Oh, I love it. I really do. Right where we left off. Oh my God, that was a flash storm. I thought I could bear it out, but it just got way too strong. Oh my God, that was good. It was nice to be under this rain, at least in my shack. I wasn't getting wet, but the sound of it was intense. So anyways, let's move on to the next. And this is my Doridus. I have a hard time saying this one. Pulchimerema. I think that's how you say Pulchimerema red. Again, it's a tiny flower, so you know it's not gonna focus for me. There we go. I'm getting the hang of this. So anyways, this is a beautiful, I believe it's family to the Phalaenopsis. I'm not sure. I bought this at Lady Vanda, and she was explaining to me that I think these are family or cousins to the Phalaenopsis, or it is a Phalaenopsis. I'm not sure. Do not quote me on that. But it is a beautiful orchid. It shoots a long little stem here, and it has all these little tiny flowers. And I can't wait for it to be completely open, like all of them to open up, because it has an intense color. Very happy to have this in my collection. I have another Doritis, but or is it Doritis or Doritis? Tomatoes. I have another one here that's about to shoot. I think I lost a tag on this one. I think this is the yellow one, the one that's yellow and white. And I have bought only one small one. And in 2 years, I have these two big ones, and finally it's blooming again. It was using all its energy to shoot a spike. So guys, if your orchid is not giving you blooms, check to see if it has any keikis or any extra babies that it's pushing out, because that's usually the energy that they're using. Instead of blooming, they will go ahead and just use all their energy to shoot a spike. That's my Neo Stylus, and look at all the spikes. It's filled with spikes. So I can't wait to show you guys that one. All right, my Renanvanda. Renanvanda Jairak Magenta. Love this Vanda as well. It has a beautiful, beautiful color. It's kind of cool to show you guys these with the raindrops hitting the flower. Wonder what it'll look like if I put it in slow motion. It would look pretty cool. All right, there's more spikes coming up. This is my new Encyclia that just opened, which I call it the mystery Encyclia, because it doesn't have a tag. It was given to me as a gift from my neighbors, and it's just gorgeous. It has this cranberry type of color on the petals, and then the tongue has this beautiful pink and fuchsia combination. I love it. I'm really, really happy with these flowers. I was waiting for them to open so I can see what it was. So I finally get it to bloom, and I have to move the stem because it got, I guess from the rain, it got caught. Sorry about that. It got caught with the Escasenda, which is this one, my Tabavat, that smells like fruit punch. And it has a beautiful, beautiful red flower. This one's also from Banyangs, which is pretty cool. I think all my red orchids come from Bangyang, now that I realize that. This I bought at the Redland Orchid Show about 5 years ago. It was a mystery Vanda. They sold it to me for $10. It was in a box because the tags fell out, so they couldn't really price it accurately. So they sold them all for $10, and I ended up taking 2. And this is one of them, and it has the most beautiful violet flower, and it smells delicious. It's a very light fragrance, but it does have a fragrance. It was a bonus for me because I ended up buying a fragrant Vanda for $10. Very, very pretty. And it has really pretty patterns too. Now here we have, check this out. Is that not a cool Bulbophyllum, guys? This one I bought at Aquagenera, USA, over at Ophi's Festival. And when I bought it and brought it home, the flower immediately died on me. And shortly after, I would say a week ago, I started shooting a spike, and I got really excited because I was so let down when I brought it home and it was dead. And by the way, this will open up completely flat, like my hand. It'll look really cool because it's still in the process of opening. And this is a Bulbophyllum makoyanum. This is the one that sounds Japanese to me. Sorry, I'm trying to dodge some of the heavy water drops. And right above it, behind it, is my green mystery Dendrobium that I got over at Ophi's as well. At oh my God, what was the name of that vendor? I've been there several times. Well, when I go look back at my records, I'll put it underneath. I think they deserve some recognition for carrying such a beautiful, beautiful Dendrobium. And I've been after this one for a while, and I finally got it, and it hasn't stopped blooming since I got it. It's really, really pretty. I'll just include this one since you guys are looking at flowers. This is my begonia. This begonia actually grew in this pot, and it's none of the ones that I own. I just don't know how it got there. So this is my begonia collection, since we're already looking at blooms. And these are my begonia rex, and they love the rain. They're doing really, really well. So, but I'm gonna do a whole episode on begonias soon. I'm just showing you my maculata. I'm just showing you some of the blooms, how pretty they are. So if you guys want some plants in your home that give off pretty flowers, begonias are great, and they bloom a lot. They bloom a lot. Look at this. Here's my wedding bouquet, I call it. It's a perfect wedding bouquet, see? As a bride walks, she holds the bouquet. All right, let's wrap this up because the rain is gonna come back. You know what, guys? 3 times already, I have forgotten to feature this flower when I've done It's in Bloom, and it's lasted a really long time. And I feel so bad. I feel like I've just pretty much, you know, the stepmother who keeps the stepdaughter locked away. That's how I felt with this Dendrobium. I think it's a Dendrobium. If any of you know what this is, I bought this on a fly. I just saw it one day at the flea market, and I picked it up. And it had buds. I didn't know what the flower was going to look like. And it's a semi-open flower. It doesn't open more than this, but it has such a cool leopard spotting effect. I really like it. But it's a small little orchid, and sometimes it gets lost in my collection, and I forget to showcase it for you guys. So I'm sure one of you is gonna tell me the name of this, because my subscribers are like very high IQ'd. I've come to learn that you guys are so smart, and you're so full of information that I appreciate you every day when you give me your information or you help me out to name my plants. So if you can name this one, I will appreciate it highly, because she needs a tag, and she needs to be noticed a little bit more, because she does give me orchids all the time. All right. All right, folks, that is it. That's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed all those beautiful blooms. I'm sure you're wondering, where's this background from? I'm not in Miami anymore. I didn't have time to finish this episode. I remembered on the plane that I never did the ending. And so I decided to just do the ending here and kind of give you a little tease of where I'm at, because my next video will be unveiling the surprise of where I am at. And what I'm going to show you has nothing to do with orchids or tropical plants. I'm in a very different environment, and I think you guys are going to probably enjoy this little journey, because it's all new to me, and I can't wait to share it with you. Back there is my little godson, Harley. I'm at my good friend's house, Ken, and we're going to take this little journey later on, and I'm going to bring you guys with me, so you don't want to miss this fun episode. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and you will not be disappointed. So he's Harley, I'm Nelson, you're watching Nature Nell, and always keep it green. Say bye, Harley.